welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome, and thank you so much for coming on to support the exciting Wise Woman podcast.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to be here.
So before we get into today's conversation, I'd like you to just introduce yourself to everyone and share your name and a little bit about yourself and what it is that you actually do.
So I am Janet Sheard and I'm the founder of Natural Balance Holistic Therapy. I've been a therapist for nearly 5 years and I do complementary therapy, so aromatherapy, reflexology, lymphatic drainage, and I specialise, well, I'll say I'm interested in women's health.
Amazing, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now, we found each other how many years ago?
Probably just when I'd started my business. We did that spiritual fair together, do you remember?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And I think I was just getting started then as well, you know.
I think it was around 2022.
Yes.
October.
Yeah.
The Halloween fair.
Yes, yes, it was.
Yeah.
And it was a case of I was still in the corporate world then, teaching, but I
remember you had a really lovely hat on.
Yes, my black hat. It's quite witchy.
Yeah.
Yes, I had that. And I was just branching out with my healing practices and things that I'd done for many years in the background for myself, but I'd just started doing it weekends and evenings, you know, for friends and clients. So, and that was one of my first fairs. So we met back then. We immediately had things in common, didn't we? There was the love for holistic therapies, connecting to spirit, and then breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that journey for you.
So I have worked for the NHS for 16 years.
Wow.
And yes, I started out as a breastfeeding support worker. That was my title. Basically, the NHS ran a pilot programme to improve breastfeeding outcomes in areas of deprivation in Leeds.
Yeah.
So we did that for a year, and then it was all around the time when the MSW, so maternity support worker role, was coming on board, because that was quite new. So I've worked ever since in maternity, so obviously helping women postnatally, mainly feeding support. So that is what the role is about. It's
infant feeding support.
Infant feeding and breastfeeding support,
Which, again, was another synchronicity between us, because I'd spent years holding space back in Leeds with the breastfeeding group. I'd trained as a peer supporter as well and a facilitator.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved supporting women, whilst on my own breastfeeding journey as well, because out of the 5 children I've formula fed 2 and breastfed 3 and still breastfeeding now. But to be able to support women that have not had the right amount of support and love and care and time that they so rightly deserve at such a vulnerable stage in their life, it's something that holds really close to my heart, is all that work, and it is so amazing what you still do being in that sector.
There's just not enough of it, is there? You know, and there's just not enough, well, in my view, emphasis put on breastfeeding support. It's very much down in the pecking order. It doesn't get the funding that other projects in the medical world do, and
you wonder why when you actually, you know, go on some of the trainings and the things that we have been on, and you learn and experience it yourself when you've breastfed. There's just not enough information and support at all. And I remember years and years back, I was told that, you know, like even doctors or the university students, they're training to be midwives. They might get like 3 to 6 hours of seminar time on breastfeeding in the whole 3 or 6 years of study, which
especially not so much midwives, but I think GPs definitely.
Oh God, yeah.
They have a tiny little bit on lactation, don't they? And they just
And that's it.
then the knowledge is really limited. So,
and you go to a GP wanting support, often broken after you've had a baby, you know, and your milk's coming and things. And I remember going and offering at a GP practice to give free information, even like a little lecture to them, you know, or workshop, and saying, you know, come along and speak to us peer supporters and breastfeeding facilitators and learn some of the information to share, you know, in your appointments. And unless we were going to pay them for it, they wouldn't come and listen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've done all this training from the goodness of my heart, you know, genuinely want to help the community. We would save money. You know, we know the stats and statistics in regards to, you know, babies that are breastfed and if a mother chooses to. So yeah, it's really sad, isn't it, that often people don't want to do something unless they're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
It's not really heart-centred, is it?
I think as well, unfortunately, because there is no money in breastfeeding.
No.
It's free.
It's free.
It doesn't generate any revenue.
It doesn't. It doesn't feed the pharmaceutical industry, does it? Let's face it.
Apart from all the kit and caboodle that they want to, the newfangled things that they want to sell you. But actual, you know, breastfeeding is free, isn't it? And
come on, doggy. Tippy toes. Come on.
Yeah, it's really sad. But I think what, you know, like, I can only speak for Leeds infant feeding team. You know, they're trying their best and limited staff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just we just
the
have
children's
to keep
centres
chipping
have
away.
been loads of children's centres.
18 children's centres throughout Leeds have closed.
I mean, the impact that must have on families, socially, economically, everything. You know, how that will ripple throughout communities is devastating. And when I did hear that, because I'm still in some of the groups from when I ran the breastfeeding group, I was just so sad.
It is.
You know, how can funding like that be cut? But like you say, it doesn't bring any revenue or money, does it? You know, breastfeeding, something that's liquid gold, I call it, you know, from Mother Earth. We're gifted this amazing milk.
I think more needs to be done on the education around breastfeeding and how beneficial it will be. Some people talk about the pressure that they feel to breastfeed, but looking from the other side of things, working in it, I find that hard to understand because we simply don't have the resources to you know, if you don't want to breastfeed, then that is absolutely your choice. But I think every woman should have that choice and have the right information, and that's what we need. We need much more antenatal information about the benefits of breastfeeding. Informed decision, because not everybody, it's not for everybody. Yeah. But I think if you have the full picture of what,
you can make the decision that's right for you and right for your family. And I always used to say, like, every mother has the right to choose, but also every baby has the right to access human milk. And there are other alternatives, aren't there? You know, donor breast milk banks. We'd have wet nurses back in the day, wouldn't we? But
thank goodness we do have formula, because in some instances it's medically needed. You know, so we've got needed. To not, And
from my own experience of formula feeding 2 children myself, it's about supporting the family like you do, you know, week in, week out, to give them their most amazing journey and support that they can have through that period of, you know, conception, pregnancy, birth, and right through postnatally. And that's where there's a lack of, I think, continuity, support, village, you know, cutting all those children's centres down, that's stopping the village community coming together, support mothers, supporting mothers, and we're really losing that. And it's super sad.
It really is, who knows what will happen, but...
And I mean, it took me my 3rd child until I started to learn about breastfeeding. I mean, I'm the first to admit I knew nothing about it. I had an urge to do it. I was 16 I was a baby, having a baby myself, and I still tried to breastfeed, you know, when I got home and had this maternal urge to try with my son. He, you know, all 5 of mine have had tongue ties, which causes lots of complications. But had I can do, yes, can do. I'll rephrase that. Had I had the correct information and support at the time to navigate that tongue tie, and the birth complications that I'd had, we might have had a totally different experience.
Absolutely.
And you just think to have to get to the 3rd child before I was able to access any sort of support. I mean, thank goodness I met the woman that I did that supported me.
Yeah, it's so important, but like I said, it's you know, it's all about the education and informed choice and having that knowledge before to make that. Because so many people we speak to, you know, say, I really wanted to breastfeed, but, you know, I just didn't get the support. And I've forgotten the statistic. Is it 1 in, 3 women out of 10 give up breastfeeding before they wanted to because of lack of support.
I remember one.
That's probably wrong, that statistic. We'll have to fact check that.
But I remember, I mean, again, it's been a long time since I did my peer support training. I think that was back in, Elliot was born in 2010, so it must have been 2012-ish that I did that. And it was, if your partner supports you in breastfeeding, you are 30% more likely to be successful. So that stat might have changed now. But 30% is a huge percentage. If you have a partner or even somebody very close to you that's supporting you, 30%
That's
likely.
a big thing that I used to find, you know, husbands, partners can feel, oh, well, I'd rather she didn't breastfeed because I want to be able to help her feed the baby and take my share. And but then, you know, there's other things that
biologically there's a reason why we have breasts, isn't there? I mean, that's another whole topic, but bringing it back to, you know, there's other things that partners can do, isn't there? Bathing, like, you know, Dad's out now walking Freya to the shop, bonding.
There's
loads of things. Feeding, weaning, looking after the mother, feeding the mother, caring for the mother as well, you know?
It's just, it's a partnership, it's having that support.
And this is why we need a village.
Yep.
So, before we get to the breastfeeding stage, if you're choosing to breastfeed and choosing to have a baby, or you found yourself pregnant, what is it that you have found about your therapies with reflexology that is really helping with fertility, with pregnancy, whichever avenue you want to go down with this? I mean, I came to you personally for reflexology in my pregnancy with Freya, and it was amazing. So relaxing. Every time I came to you, I left feeling like I could get through the next few weeks of pregnancy. I felt rejuvenated, rested. Often like loads of emotional baggage had just shifted, because we carry so much in pregnancy, don't we? Not literally just the pregnancy, but all the worries, the anxieties, you know, the what ifs, people projecting things onto us about our pregnancy and birth and things. I've never been for reflexology for fertility purposes, but I can honestly say it was one of the best things I invested in my pregnancy.
I think reflexology is wonderful anyway, and you know, your feet hold so many nerve endings and they're so super receptive to touch, and it's powerful. You know, reflexology is all about moving that energy, so we're all made up of energy, and when that chi gets a little bit stagnant, don't like to say the word blocked, stuck a little bit, it just needs a little helping hand. Reflexology does that by working the reflex points on the feet that correspond with every part of your body. But in terms of pregnancy, it's all about getting you into that very deep state of relaxation, so into parasympathetic, out of that sympathetic, where your body's on alert. Because when you're pregnant, all your senses are heightened, aren't they? So
well, you've got to be more guarded, more protected. I think we go very much back to primal instincts.
Like you
pregnant.
said, you can be more anxious, especially if it's your first baby, it's first time pregnancy. So it's just that having that space and that chance to just really switch off. And get your body into that lovely, deep, relaxed state. And that's how it works. It's magic,
Absolutely. And you have the most beautiful treatment space to attend as well. And I mean, I've actually had reflexology for quite a long time prior to finding that you did it, and I could, you were closer to me as well. But I genuinely can feel like, when you're touching certain parts of my feet and you're like, that's there, and you'd be like, that's your solar plexus, that's your neck, that's your back. Like, it just fascinates me that the feet are linked so much
to the body.
And we know that through, I do earthing and love connecting to universal life force energy when I'm doing Reiki. But even without knowing anything about reflexology, just tuning into where can I feel that on my body when you press that part of my foot.
So it's that energy again. It's just that energy moving around. You're going to feel it, and also I will be able to feel reflex points that are slightly out of balance. I can balance things. I can give so a reflex point may feel a little bit lacking. Like you need energy in that area. So what we do a different technique so you can actually pump energy. You pump the point to give energy to that area. You might need it might feel really tight and tense. So therefore we'll work it like a massage.
Yeah, like a bit gristly.
Crunchy or crystals. That's a better word, isn't it? Crystals and
love
crunchy
crystals.
or gritty.
Well, you use crystals in your reflexology as well.
Sometimes, So, it's amazing, and we can stimulate or desensitize. So I've just obviously recently done the training for Barbara Scott's Reflexology with Fertility, which goes into so much detail.
I know we spoke on the phone the other day.
What I do not know about the life cycle of a sperm.
Yes. 12 weeks at least of I know, 12 weeks. Me and Martin covered it in our podcast around fertility and the testosterone trap and our journey with fertility. And the life cycle of a sperm is, 3 months. So whatever you're putting into your body prior, if you're wanting to conceive, it's really important that, 12 weeks you're really managing your diet, hormone balance, sleep, lifestyle, keeping all that alcohol out of your diet. And
obviously no smoking.
But
did you know that testosterone, so men who want to pump iron and do weights, no, not while you're trying to get pregnant, because all that testosterone is going to build the muscle instead of to the reproductive area. I was like,
and if you're a man that loves to be sitting in the sauna all the time, you need to stay out of the sauna, because
cycling, that's no good for
absolutely because the scrotum is on the outside of the body for a reason. It needs to stay cool. And often we've got these suave cars now with heated seats. Just killing your sperm. Cars, like, this is going to be actually like something that's going to happen. I'm going to say it anyway because it's just come to me. People, all these big car companies, they need to start making a vehicle with a setting where men can literally go ding and make their seat go cold. And if it goes cold, that's literally, keeping the testosterone safe. Somebody out there will do this. My husband watches all these car programs. This guy who builds cars, Matt Armstrong, is fantastic. Matt, can you do a car? Can he literally do a car where he can change the heated seats? Cooling setting for men's testosterone for fertility. I bet he could. He'd easily build that.
there's so much involved though, isn't it? And I think we think about pregnancy, getting pregnant's quite easy.
It's a miracle.
It literally is a miracle.
Everything
pregnancy that has to be just so, we talk about homeostasis, don't we? The body needs to be in homeostasis.
Well, that's what Mizan means.
Yeah.
Bringing the body back into homeostasis, and there is so much universally, cosmically, energetically, intimately, divinely that has to fall into place.
Yeah.
For a conception. And then you've got to hold the conception, and if the pregnancy is meant to stay.
Yeah.
So I think it's absolutely amazing that you're on this fertility journey now.
I'm really
with the
excited about it. So I did reflexology for ladies that were women that were wanting to conceive. Mm-hmm. So I've got my level 4, but this is another level. I mean, this is so intense. I shouldn't use that word, maybe.
That's how it feels. That's how it feels.
It's very, it's really looking at everything. It's like you said, the diet, not just of the woman, but of the man as well, and just trying to as well encourage men to come along for reflexology, because men need these treatments.
Men need healing too. Men need support and guidance just as much. And there's so much focus on the woman with the fertility and the basal temperature, and is she ovulating, and the nectar.
But we forget about all the factors like we've just talked about with the sperm and everything that have to be right as well. Men can get infections.
Testicular cancer, erectile dysfunction, low testosterone.
Yeah.
There's so many factors.
There's so many different things that men can get, that can be, and did you know that beta blockers affects their sperm motility?
The morphology as well, because there's not just the motility and the speed of the sperm, but there's the morphology and the shape of the sperm. You can get sperm with double heads and all sorts, can't you?
Yeah, I was like, I'm just blown away. I'm like, well,
we love learning about sperm.
Every day is a school day,
yeah. Every day is literally a school day.
Fascinating.
And this is why when I trained in Mizan therapy, I was like, Martin, men need help too. And it was how he was supporting and guiding me on my Mizan journey, that when we were then trying for our own child, I knew that he was if he wanted to help guide men with their fertility journey as well, which is what led him to train in male Mizan. And he's not afraid to have these conversations with couples, and that's why we're now doing couples Mizan therapy, not just for the fertility, but on the aspect of
reproductive health,
hormonal health.
In this busy world
with lots of toxins,
and
all the exoestrogens. Are you covering the exoestrogens? With the fertility, all the things to do with the plastic and everything.
Cutting that out. There's just
plastics being found in sperm. Literally. Men are finding that there's plastic in their sperm, which just blows my mind. That just literally, everybody that wants to work on fertility, I would just recommend changing all your Tupperware as a start, slowly processing to glass.
Stainless steel pans. I'm just
get rid of the non-stick. The non-stick is just so, as soon as it's scratched a little bit, it's going into your food, it's going into your digestive system, into your body. Cook with cast iron.
Cast iron or stainless steel.
There's loads of little changes that you can make over time to protect your health and your fertility health.
And all the, that is probably a whole other topic, isn't it? Like endocrine disruptors in detergents and stuff like that.
Oh, the list. It makes you want to throw everything out of your house and start again.
You can't do that, can you? Because,
it's a slow process. When I started to learn about this, I was like, it was this book that I read, the Hormone Handbook. And it's written by Bushra, who I trained in the Mizan with. And I've gifted it to people before and just said, this is just a starting point for you to learn about your hormone health. Girls that are just starting for the first time to menstruate. When I've got friends and their daughters are starting their menarche for the first time. I give them this book and I'm just like, if your daughter can read this and learn about hormonal health, it's going to improve her menstruation, her periods, her energy levels. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, like with the breastfeeding, more information is needed. And I genuinely feel like this should be stuff that's rolled out in curriculums, in education, if you choose to send your children to mainstream school, private, whatever. Topics like this to do with breastfeeding, hormone health, everything.
Well, let's face it,
should be
women's health is again
than still doing
down on the list, isn't it? So it's slowly coming to the forefront now, I think. With like menopause awareness and just generally women's health, I think it's a little bit better. But going back to the male, the man, I think we just need to really look after the men as well and break that stigma of it's down to the woman.
Yeah.
And also it takes two. Yeah, it's the 50-50 partnership, obviously. But also the stigma of men coming for help, and that might not necessarily be for fertility, but male, reproductive issues. What I was going to say, we live in a very busy world. Stress is a massive problem that affects their testosterone, that can cause all sorts of problems.
Men get depression when their testosterone gets too low. It can affect their sleep. So moving back, bringing it back into the reflexology, what would you recommend if a couple is wanting to start their fertility journey? Would you say come right at the beginning?
Yeah, so I need to work with them right at the beginning. So, and to, it's a very open and honest conversation. The questionnaire is quite probing, it's quite personal, because it needs to be. We need to know every little factor that may affect their fertility. Tracking the woman's cycle and temperature taking rather than the ovulation sticks, because they can be open to flaws in there. They're not quite as accurate.
Do you recommend naturally tracking, like I personally do with the Mizan, rather than the apps?
Yeah. Well, so there is an app that, you can use the apps, but I think just taking your temperature under the tongue as soon as you wake up, before you have a drink, and even before you speak and get out of bed, straight away, is gonna give an accurate picture of what is going on within the cycle. The follicular phase, when the ovulation comes.
I can feel my ovulation.
So
some women can,
some women can't. So and just educating couples about that. But in terms of obviously reflexology, again, it's all about having that. So there would be shorter treatments, but weekly.
Okay.
Ideally, obviously, definitely for a woman each week of a cycle, because something different is happening.
Absolutely.
Every week.
I mean, I put it into seasons at the minute on my Womb Wednesdays. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm doing spring, summer, autumn and winter, and teaching people
so we'll
that
be
choose to
balancing
tune in,
the uterus and the ovaries, and then we'll be stimulating. But once ovulation's occurred, we want to desensitize and calm everything down. So
because staying calm and peaceful is going to help to maintain that pregnancy if it's meant to stay.
Exactly. So for in the couple point of view, so man and woman, getting them into that lovely parasympathetic nervous system where we can achieve homeostasis, and that is the key. And just having that lovely time where they just switch off, the busy mind switch off, the phone goes off, the breathing regulates, everything just is calm and quiet, and that's where the body heals, that's where the magic happens, isn't it? Literally.
I would say there's power in doing it together as well, like there's the physical act of having the intercourse, but so much pressure gets added to trying to conceive, and it's about releasing that pressure and also having those open conversations about
it's
where
not
are we going
all
with this
on the
journey.
woman.
It's not all on this woman. We know that, like, you know, a high percentage of miscarriages are due to the health of the sperm, but that never often gets discussed. And women can often carry a lot of emotion
DNA
around
fragmentation.
And the sperm even contributes to the placenta, the growth and the health of the placenta, which is keeping the baby alive. So there's so much more to it than meets the eye. And I think if couples are willing to have really in-depth conversations about the type of pregnancy they want, the birth that they want, the journey as parents that they want. In our other podcast, we discussed so much that we did. It wasn't just about working together with Mizan and holistic therapies to conceive. We did, you know, worked with the moon, lunar cycle energy. We did spell jazz. We did manifesting. We did focus wheels. We did so many things together to bring in that miracle, because it is a miracle to conceive.
Exactly. And like you say, it's taking the pressure off each other, and it's a joint effort, you know, and you're supporting each other. So, and I just don't, I think that we need to promote that, you know, conception is, you know, we know it's obviously a two-way thing. It takes two, but it's just much more about the baby dance. As we call it.
The baby dance is. Much rather the baby dance.
The baby dance. Yeah.
So then moving into, you know, say a couple come to you for support with reflexology, and then they conceive and pregnancy's going well. They want to continue reflexology with yourself. What are the benefits of having reflexology during pregnancy? Yeah,
again, about getting you into that parasympathetic nervous system.
And the relaxation.
But just helping, you know, with so obviously in the first trimester, that is when you feel the most rubbish, isn't it? You're really tired. You might feel sick. Being sick. So it can just help, and the calmer we are, there's actually lots more studies around reflexology in pregnancy that can help with those symptoms by just, you know, relaxing the body, you know, helping with sleep. If you're well rested, you're not going to feel those symptoms so as severely. If you're having a rubbish night's sleep, you know, they're going to be exacerbated.
How exhausted was I in pregnancy? I was not sleeping with the carpal tunnel, the rear nads, everything. I was broken, absolutely broken. And I can honestly say these reflexology sessions with Jan were life-saving. So if you're not sleeping in pregnancy, please nip over to her page, give her a follow, and maybe book in.
Yeah, definitely. And there's lots of studies as well towards the end of your pregnancy as well to say that it can help your body go into natural labour, because induction is massive at the moment, and we know the statistics are very high. So, you know,
the C-section rate alone in my area is 50%, which is just...
It's just as well in Leeds. It's as much as vaginal, just a little bit under vaginal deliveries.
I found that insane. I mean,
vaginal delivery.
I had 3 inductions, and if I had known all the knowledge that I know now, there is no way I would have been induced. I didn't need to be induced. I was just young, scared, and listened to the hospital. I have since gone on to have, as you know, 2 home births.
Yeah,
that
sometimes
have been amazing.
there is a medical need for induction. We've got to keep the woman and the
baby safe, 100%. But if I'd have known,
there's a much higher incidence of that delivery
needing intervention.
So, absolutely, you know,
which can often be avoided if we'd have not had the induction and we'd have waited. And a lot of the time it's that, you know, you've got to your due date, and soon as with due date, like, you know, they even want to have inductions booked in, and I'm like, we take it from the first day of your last period. So the first day of your last period is the first day of your menstruation. So you might be on for 5 to 7 to 10 days. Every woman cycle length is different. But if you're on a 7 to 10 day menstruation, you've got to finish that. Then you've got to ovulate, conceive, and the pregnancy being planted.
Yeah.
So that could have taken 14 to 21 days in my experience
Yeah.
of working with women, and 5 pregnancies. So 21 days, ideally, really, in some aspects, you could think, is where we should be taking it to, the due date.
Yeah.
So that would actually be going to 43 weeks, would it not? But my God, you say that to the NHS and it's like, freak out. Yeah. But I always say to women... I think
there's so much focus on due dates, isn't there, as well?
Yes.
When's your baby due? Oh, have you not had your baby yet?
And so stressful.
Yeah.
So stressful for women, and they don't need that. I just started saying a due month, and I was like, just please don't message me and ask, is the baby here? Because then that expectation that it's not happening, I mean, we know it causes women so much stress, which is another good reason to do something like reflexology. When you're in that, it's like you're like in a limbo. There's I've got a really beautiful article that my midwives sent me, my independent midwives, and it was when I was in that stage when we're just waiting for the baby to arrive when they're ready, and everybody's asking you all these questions and where's the baby.
And that stage needs to be where you really rest. You make the most of that time before baby comes to really prepare your body, to really get that good quality rest and sleep, and so that your body is, really fit
prepared for what's
and prepared for labour when it comes.
And for the lack of sleep that everybody tells you as a parent, you're getting no sleep. Oh, wait till that baby's born.
Yeah, it's
nothing prepares you for the sleep deprivation. I can tell you now, nothing. And it doesn't get any easier. But we forget what it's like. I've had a 10-year age gap until we've had Freya. Hit me like a ton of bricks. Yeah. I've done so many years of no sleep and night feeds and children.
And don't forget, you are 10 years older.
I am 10 years older, can you believe it? Having a child at 36 was so much harder than 26 and 16 and in my teens. Honest to God, how I did it when I had 4 of them at 26, I've got no idea. Where did that energy come from? Because this time round...
And women are leaving
it later. They are leaving it later and later. And I am really glad I actually had my children, the majority of them, when I was younger, because I do not think I could have done it now.
I think it happens when it's right for you, isn't it? I believe that obviously babies come along when they want to. They really do. When they're ready. Yeah. But yes, so reflexology can definitely just help your body and produce that oxytocin, and that's what we need to put you into labour.
We need oxytocin. It's just oxytocin, we know it plays the whole part from conception, birth, breastfeeding, everything. Oxytocin is, we just love it, don't we? Yeah. So it works beautifully that I'm signposting so many Mizan clients and women that come to me for womb work and even Reiki and shamanics.
Because it can complement it lovely, can't it?
Absolutely. I am signposting them to you, especially for fertility support, because the more...
And vice versa, I do as well. I tell them all about Mizan.
Yeah, because you've been having Mizan. Please share.
For menopause.
For menopause. What has your... If you just share a little bit about your experience with Mizan therapy and menopause.
Yeah, so I just think it is... so some women might be a bit squeamish about having a massage on the tummy, but it is so... I can't describe it. It's so soothing because... we don't massage that area, do we?
No. We kind of, when we go for a massage, we go for like legs and back and shoulders and
maybe the
even hands, feet, reflexology.
Yeah, but they're not the abdomen, and it's such a beautiful experience. I think it's very sacred. It is, because the womb is where we store all that emotion, and we get the emotions from our mothers.
Oh yes.
And,
the DNA line lineage that comes through
and it's through that umbilical cord.
It is. And it all connects, doesn't it? You've come for many a massage, and I've come to you. It's been so beautiful to hold space for you and to share that journey, introducing you to Mizan, because you were a case study for menopause. What did you find, that it supported the most with the menopause?
I think your emotions, because as I said, your emotions are stored in the womb. And in midlife, emotions can come up from the past. We can revisit them. Maybe it's to do with the fluctuating hormones, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel that it's you're emotionally connected, and it's really soothing. Obviously physical, it's not just the abdomen, so it's the lower legs, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite lymphatic.
The upper legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the lymphatic area, the lower back.
Well, we work with Mizan from the pubic bone to the sternum, and from the coccyx to just underneath the brow line.
So it's working with the root, sacral chakra, solar plexus.
I feel the heart is in there as well because of the energetic things that I do in the session as well, you know, to welcome in and to release things. So there's a lot of heartfelt, and, you know, you've had Reiki before, you could often tell that Reiki energy was naturally coming through as well, which is lovely. Great for constipation. That poussage. Better out than in, but it's about the flow.
Digestive issues, because, you know, again, we don't talk about that as much with menopause, the digestive changes that your body goes through. Due to hormone fluctuations. These pesky hormones. Well, you know, when you've come for Mizan, I'm always messaging, have you had a poo yet? If you've had a poo, I have done my job. It's brilliant. No, it is. It's just deep relaxation, but there's just something very sacred, I think.
It's very, very sacred. I've had women say to me recently that it's exactly where you wish your massage could be. And I was like, that's amazing. That is really good feedback. Thank you. Because feedback, you know, it's so helpful to know from your clients. Well, thank you for sharing all of that with me.
Very well.
I feel like we should do a goddess card today.
Oh, yeah.
We always do a card when you come and see me. So I'm going to grab the goddess cards and we'll see what you get. And then you've got a little gift as well for coming on the show with me today.
Oh, I'm excited. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay, we're on.
We're back and we've got some sage on the cards. So can you just take 3 deep breaths for me? And then I'd like you to tell me to stop when you want me to stop.
Stop. Damara. Guiding children.
You are good at healing and guiding and helping and supporting children. Very apt, given that you work with babies and breastfeeding as well
very
as a
good.
reflexology, and we've been talking about conception of children.
Wow.
How apt.
Yes.
And you are, and have you ever thought about offering, I mean, you do my daughter's reflexology, but she's 19 now, so I call her an adult child, but have you thought about...
So you can do baby reflexology as well, but I'm not trained in that yet. Maybe
that's your next venture, because given we've just spoke so much about babies, conception, children, maybe that's a sign from the universe that, you know, it's time to go down that avenue in the future once you finish the fertility. So yeah, it's a beautiful card as well, that, isn't it?
Wow.
Well,
very interesting.
And you get a gift today. Now people only get these if they come and have a chat with me. I had the idea to make these. My printing lady is on with making more. She's actually rebranding my cups for me. And
I get a cup.
You get a cup, but it's with a really hilarious phrase, because I'm always calling myself one of these. We know that I love to talk. So you might as well utilise your skills. And I'm always calling myself...
Can they read that?
A waffle wanker. But some of these, I love waffles and eating them, and some of these waffles that we have and conversations are just fantastic.
I will
Purple.
use that with pride.
Yes.
It's matching nearly.
Nearly. Purple is one of my favourite colours, which is why it's purple. However, I am getting them made in like a rainbow hashtag waffle wanker, because I bring an array of content and we talk about all sorts of different things, and I just love rainbows, and it links in with Reiki energy and things as well. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Okay, yeah, loved it. Famous for a day.
Famous for a day. Thank you, and make sure that you always remember to be kind and have courage, and tune in next time. Take care.